welcome Peter Brissett. He is a marketing consultant and the CEO of The Marketing Dude.
Thank you so much. Wow, I'm so excited to be here. I think this is the first time I've spoken in person to a group doing some kind of training. Oh, yeah, thank you.
I can hear you, but I don't know about them.
Okay, how's that? Can you hear me now? I'm so excited, I forgot to turn on my microphone. So I do a lot of consulting to the SBDC, and they kind of farm me out to different groups to talk about marketing and such. And so I've been living on Zoom in a box. So what I really need help with today is if I tell a joke, even if it's not funny, if you'll just laugh at it, that'd be great. Because when I'm on Zoom, I never hear anybody laugh. I don't know if it's funny or not. I think it's hilarious. But, you know, that's all in my head. What a privilege to be here. The mayor and city council members, Ann, one of my previous clients, my friends from Eagle Nook Assisted Living. Good to see you guys here. And then other folks from SBDC and other networking groups. And Frank and Jan Giuliano, you guys don't know them. So good to have a lot of friends in the audience and smiling faces. They'll laugh at my jokes. At least. So, all right, well, the topic we're talking about is cultivating your business identity. And there's a lot of ways we could kind of frame this, I think. We hear the term brand. What's your brand? And those are fancy terms. One of the terms that comes up is what's called brand essence. Any idea what brand essence is? No. It's a weird phrase. But ultimately, what that means and what we're talking about in our identity is what do other people think about our business? What is it they think of when they think about our business? That ultimately is your brand. That ultimately is your identity. It's what's in other people's minds. So what we have to do is work on how do we cultivate that and help them to understand who we are and what we're about so that they have a much clearer picture. So it's not a fuzzy picture. We want a crystal clear picture in their minds of what it is we do, how we do it, the problems we solve, and who we solve that for. So that's going to be my main goal of helping us figure that out. Your handout today has a lot of stuff. We're not going to go through everything in there. You can take it home and do a lot of homework, but we'll touch on a number of different things. So what I'd like to do first is, with someone next to you there, just for a minute, talk to them. You guys love to talk. You guys, this chamber's been out socializing in person for a while now, so I know you don't have any problems talking to each other. And just come up with, real quick, one thing you want to get out of the presentation today. And just share that with one another real quick for 1 minute. Go. Real quick, just from the audience, just shout out, a couple of you, something you want to get out of the presentation. Don't be shy. New idea? Okay. What else?
Careful, my digital marketing presence is very impersonal. I'd like to know how to make it more personal.
Okay, make it more personal. Awesome. Make it easy?
Make it easier.
Easier, okay, great. One more.
I have one.
Yeah,
Trust everyone, but brand all your tabs.
say that again.
Trust everyone, but brand all your tabs.
Brand all your calves. I like that. Brand all your calves. I like that. That is a totally original thought and idea that I've never had from a presentation. That's great. All right, well, we'll try to cover all that, even branding calves. Okay. So part of this is thinking about Simon Sinek, if you guys are familiar with him, his book, Start With Why. There's a little bit of this of getting back to that, of why am I doing what I'm doing? And helping people understand the why side of it. Because we don't want to just be a commodity like everybody else. We want to connect with people in a different way. And starting with why is an important piece of that. So we lead with why. The how and the what, a lot of times can be much the same. We do need to find some differences there in how we do things, and that's usually where our uniqueness is in how we do it. But helping us connect better is understanding the why and what's behind it. So if you haven't read Simon Sinek yet, definitely do that. So I referenced in the title there, we're going to do some hedgehog marketing. And you're probably like, what the heck is a hedgehog? Anyway, anybody know what a hedgehog is? What's a hedgehog do? It just balls up. Does it do anything else really? It does one thing. And it's really, really good at it. And that's all it does. So that's the reference to hedgehog. So that reference comes from the book Good to Great by Jim Collins. And he talks about there about companies that have been able to move from good companies to great companies have a hedgehog. They have a singular focus on what they're doing and how they're doing it. And that's what's helped move them from good to great. And that's where the reference comes from. So what am I, a hedgehog or a fox when it comes to your marketing? So a fox, man, they're chasing, running around, they're all over the place, lots of different ideas. We have entrepreneurs in the room. How many of you have a new idea every day? I do. So I tell my team, I say, look, I need your help. I have a lot of ideas. Some of them are good. Not all of them. I think they're all great, but some of them are good, and the rest are not. You have to tell me which ones are the good ones, because I just keep coming up with ideas. That's not necessarily a great thing. Depends on what you're doing, but too many ideas can be bad. We don't want to be Charlie Brown's teacher. Like, what is that? It's just noise. And we got to break through that noise. Depending on where you're at in business too, if you're early in business, in my early days when I started about 12 years ago, I'm like, do you have a temperature? Like you got a pulse? Like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. And I had to quickly realize that's crazy. Like, this is crazy to just try to be everything to everybody. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make it for a good business. And what I found was when I got narrow and narrowed my focus, I actually grew faster. Actually accomplished a lot faster. And kind of a call out to Joe Saba, if anybody remembers Joe Saba. He started the National Speakers Association here in Denver a number of years ago, passed away just a couple of years ago. He always used to say, your niche will make you rich. All right, what are the benefits? So the benefits of a hedgehog start with how easy it is for someone to refer you. So Kim and I were just having a conversation before this meeting, and I thought it fascinating. So Kim's like the ultimate networker. She's always trying to pass referrals back and forth. She's passed me many referrals over the years. I've passed her referrals, right? So, but sometimes she has a printer that does X, and then a printer that does Y. So when she has someone that comes to her and says, I need a printer, she doesn't just go, oh, go to this printer. She goes, what is it you need? Well, I need someone that can make really big posters. Oh, great. Well, you want to talk to printer Y, because they're really good at that. So she's found something within that printer that they're really good at. She's like building their own hedgehog for them, and it makes it easier for her to refer to them, because she kind of did that work for them on what they're really good at. So that's one example, like real life that this happened today, on how having this more narrow focus on where you're at makes it easier to refer. We talked about more money and less time. It makes marketing so much easier. We talked about how can I do this easier and simpler. If you go more narrow, all that becomes much easier and more cost effective. Here's the thing about this too. A couple more thoughts on this. One, sometimes we can labor this too much. And I'll talk about that again. We can spend so much time trying to go, oh, well, I got to pick this niche. but we're afraid to do something because we think we're going to miss out if we do that. Often what we do in our marketing and how we do our marketing, we just copy what everybody else is doing. We're just like, oh, that looks good. And we just copied it. I'm guilty of that too. I have a lot of stuff in my business that I go, why do I do this? Did I come up with this idea or did I just copy what I saw someone else doing? And that's often what happens in that. And at the end of the day, that's not very fun. And I like to have fun. I don't know about you guys. I like to work, but I want to have fun while I'm doing it. And you can get creative with this and let your creative juices flow and have a little more fun with it. This helps make you the expert. How can you become the expert in your area, your field, by narrowing that niche and narrowing that what you do? And we talk about UVP, we're going to talk about USP, unique selling proposition or unique value proposition. How do you build that? A hedgehog isn't necessarily that. Sometimes it can be. But a hedgehog, it can kind of lead you in that direction. And we'll talk more about that. So again, why don't we do this? Fear of missing out. If I say I only do marketing for assisted living communities, which is what I did early on in the business, that was my focus. Well, that means I'm not going to get a plumber or a real estate agent or anybody else. Guess what? I got plumbers, I got real estate agents, I got all of them. But my focus was on assisted living. It's a survival thing. Like, we're afraid we're not going to be successful, so like we're just afraid to do it. The other thing is, we can't make this too hard. I have tons of questions and stuff for you to take home and do homework on. And if you really feel like you got to go through every one, some people are super detail-oriented. Like, I have a lot of detail-oriented people on my team for a reason. They're good at that stuff. Like, keep me up here in the high level, you work on the details. So you can get wrapped up into that. Don't labor this. This should be a simple thing. Come up with an idea and then run with it. All right, so three key questions to build your hedgehog. First of all, what can I be the best in the world at? So let's think about world for a second, and what do I mean by that? Do I mean the entire whole globe of the planet Earth? No, absolutely not. I mean your world. What is your world? Maybe your world is Brighton, Colorado. Maybe your world is just downtown Brighton, Colorado. Like, what is your world? What is your space? Is it a person? Is it a demographic? Is it a geographic area? How can you narrow that down and become the best at that thing in whatever world is yours? So create a new world and be the best at your thing in that world. So what is it ultimately that drives your economic engine? So many of us, this is a little bit more simple for them. So Frank and Jan, they're in the mortgage business. So we do mortgages, like, let me help you with the mortgage, you need refinance. That's what we do. Now, some mortgage people do different things. Some people do, people that are hard to lend to. And that's what they focus on. So even in that, you can break it down a little bit. But it's pretty easy. I don't sell anything else but mortgages. That's the only thing you offer. For some of us, we offer lots of things. We have this product, we have this service, we have lots of different things, and we're just selling whatever people will buy. But which thing actually makes us the most money? Which thing is the most fun to do? Which thing do I enjoy doing the most? Those are questions to ask to kind of begin to go, okay, what service do I have that maybe I just need to focus on that one particular service? And really narrow and dial this in. And then what are you passionate about? What do you care about? What are the things that matter to you? So we'll break this down a little bit more. Here's these areas. Okay? Talk about business model. What brings you the most profit? What do you already do that's different or better than your competition? And you know it's better. What is that one thing? And can that one thing possibly become the one thing you really focus on? And then what are the things you care about? What's a hobby that you have? A charity that you support? What you do in the community? What are those different things, those different areas that you're already part of that you really care about that maybe you can incorporate into this and make that part of what your hedgehog is going to be? And again, how to be best in your world. All right, so some ideas. Ways to build a hedgehog. You can pick a combo of these, one of these. Again, location, is it a hobby? There's the I love cars, so the guy who sells garages with attached houses to people who love cars. So he's just a real estate agent, right? But he's all about the cars, and he knows that space, and that's what he focuses on. Selling to a particular demographic. I'm a financial planner. Financial planners can sell all kinds of stuff, can't they? But would they grow faster maybe, or do better if they just picked one thing and just were really good at that one thing? You could go personality, that's always an option. Be Jake Jabs or Dylan Doug. The size, big projects, small projects, or your expertise. Do you like to speak? Do you like to write? Do you have other ways to show your authority? Okay, so let's pause here for a second. Take a couple minutes and talk about some ideas. Ideas that you might have based on what we've already talked about that might work for your business. Brainstorm with each other, share some thoughts, tell the person next to you if they don't know what you do, tell them more about what you do, and just share some random ideas. Don't say no to anything. We're not making any decisions today, it's safe, guys. But throw out some ideas and take just a few minutes and let you guys do that. Go. Appreciate it. So let's share some of these ideas that we talked about and see if we can't brainstorm as a whole group on some things. So what are some ideas that maybe you heard that you thought were good ideas? Let's start with that. Anybody have a good idea? You're like, oh, that might work. Don't be shy. It's safe here. We're not gonna...
So for insurance, she's talking about
Insurance, okay?
doing more real, like not taking pictures of customers and real life stuff, like you can use someone.
So what kind of insurance are we talking about? Auto, home, and business insurance, okay? And so tell me more about this. What do you do now that's just like, you pretty much like everybody else that does insurance? Anything unique that you do now? Okay. Okay. Well, that's a good thing. Like, you don't have to come to my office. You'll come. You're saying you don't have to come to my office. I'm going to go to you, and we'll take care of this where you're at. We're going to make this more convenient for you, faster, easier. So I don't know a lot of insurance agents that want to come out and see me. So that's good. And then, so you want to add to that and enhance it.
Well, I think what we had in the past where something they had is it wasn't getting clicks
Yeah.
or books or any of that.
No engagement.
So I think we're just changing that. We've been doing it recently, but like just posting the things that we're paying to community service or whatever
Yep.
on there. And we've had so many clicks on that side. It's like, okay, we gotta get real.
Yeah.
And show reality and be, and I want to be candid though too. Insurance sucks right now, so I want
Yes.
to make sure I be candid.
Right.
And make people ask questions why.
Yeah.
You know, I'm with the why out there, you ask me and I'll give you an answer.
Yeah. Yeah, and insurance is one of those things we have to buy, but none of us wants to buy it. Right? So it's not like this is a fun experience. I have to do it because you just have to. So introducing some fun, the community stuff. So tell me more about your community stuff. Sorry, I'm just picking on you.
Oh, you're fine. We like to, we like to donate our time, you know, either like tomorrow will be the Fort Lipton, golf tournament, out of this voluntary.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't help out volunteering, it goes right to cheaper. We sponsor a lot of things, community.
Sure.
We like to engage students and help them
consulting hat, for me, what I would dig in there is go, what is one of these things that we really love that we can just go deep on? So it's awesome to be involved in the community and do a lot of things, but is there something here, like working with the kids, that you could really go deep on? Yeah. Yeah.
Young adults becoming, you know, into the real world, giving them opportunities in our own office so that we show other companies that you should try this out too, and help
Yeah.
them engage to see
Yeah.
if this is what they want to do. We're
You're
not
showing
just,
leadership in the community with,
So we want to be able
Yeah.
to show that we're, you know, you may not want the office job, but you maybe want to have to work with us. I don't know, you know, that's the thing that they don't know.
Yeah.
And so we're giving them an opportunity, plus paying them, so I think that we have a situation.
Absolutely.
So we are really focused on this for sure.
okay, video. Get people talking, talk to your customers, get them to talk, tell them about their experience, and all those things. Video. If you want engagement on social, you got to do video. Okay, awesome. Okay, other ideas that came up that you guys were like, come on. I'm curious about what you do. Can I pick on you?
Sure.
What's your business?
Financial advisor here at Brighton. Financial advisor here at Brighton.
Financial advisor, okay. That's a tough gig, right?
It's all right.
It's all right. It's tough, because you gotta get clients, you gotta find the right clients. So, did any ideas strike you? I know I threw a bunch of stuff up there, but any ideas strike you specifically, like how you can connect something?
So I think locally and a niche client who we influence.
You do an edge clients? What are like hobbies or fun things that you do?
Like
I know a lot of financial people aren't much fun, you know, they don't do fun things.
like the cycle.
I'm sorry. Phil, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. Golf, not very good at it, but it's a good social game.
Yeah,
And workout, but I like to do that on my own.
yeah, private, yeah. Yeah, so I would go there, I mean, especially if you're talking about, I think my battery just died or something. Oh, it's good? Okay, good. Yeah, I would dig deep on that personal side. What are the things that I really love and enjoy doing and can connect with people on, and see how I can bring that in, so that when someone else goes, oh, I love playing golf, like, and I need financial advice. Oh, you need to talk to Phil. Like, Phil's your guy. Like, nobody loves golf more than Phil, and he gives great financial advice. It can be that simple. Again, you can work on this, but sometimes we put too much into it. We keep it a lot more simple than that. Any other ideas that came up that you're like, oh, not even for yourself, and maybe you've heard of another business that, oh, they do it this way, and this is a great idea. We got competing with the trains. Yeah.
I don't have another great idea, but
Yeah.
I think for Phil, I think he needs to be careful though on, you know, I golf and I'm a good advisor because I think if he was golfing too much for me, I'm like, he doesn't care about me.
He golfs all the time.
Yeah.
What a
Like,
lazy
I think there has
financial
to be
advisor he is.
some
I'm not-
happy medium of that.
No, I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying it's whatever. You know, be creative in your idea, but make it work too, because you don't want to piss off your potential clients because they're like, yeah, he's going to take my money and go golf.
Right. It seems
Right.
like real estate agents, insurance, title, mortgage,
Yep.
like we need to do as much as we can give back to the community
Yes.
instead of buying expensive cars or hobbies.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sure I get judged. I like to travel, but that's my thing.
But that's okay. I mean, if that's your thing and you love travel, then travel and do it. And you know what? You'll find people that want to do business with you that travel.
Right. Yeah.
They'll connect with you on that level, and they're not going to care that you travel
That's a good point.
because they love to travel too, and they want to take every chance and opportunity to do it.
So dealing Doug's certainly an interesting case because that wouldn't be my guy I'd buy a car from, but he certainly has made that work.
Yeah. And Jake Jabs, you know, over the years, I mean, who doesn't know about American Furniture Warehouse because of Jake Jabs? So there's all different ways that you can do it. Yeah.
Interesting marketing, Rocky's Auto.
Rocky's Auto.
Stores.
Back in the day, man.
Just a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah?
They're no longer.
Yeah, I saw that, but they haven't been doing any of their fun advertising either for years.
That's what I'm missing, that's what I'm pointing out.
Yeah. their commercials were ridiculously fun. Like, who didn't know about Rocky's Auto? Like, you just wanted to drive by and go see those guys. Because it was so much fun. Like, they just got out of the normal car sales kind of thing. And, yeah, so, and we don't necessarily have to go that far with it, right? But why not? Great.
Peter and I are very sales professional, and one of the longtime members who passed away, Bernice Jacob.
Oh, Bernice.
She used to have a saying that she said every meeting, STP, see the people. And thank God that we're having meetings that we can see the people again.
Yes.
Instead of all that other baloney.
Right. All right, let's see here how much time. Okay, we got a couple minutes. All right. So the rest of this I'm not really going to go through. It's in your notes. So if you want to dig deeper into this and kind of figure out what are the things that are really unique about my business, what am I doing differently, there's a ton of questions to ask. And really dig in there and pull that stuff out, and you guys can spend time on that. If you want free consulting time, you can book me through the SBDC anytime that you want. It won't cost you a penny if you want to do that. So you can work on that some more. The thing I mentioned at the beginning, brand essence. It's what your customers think of you. Yeah.
I wasn't the only one at my table, so maybe everybody knows this, but I don't know what the SPDB is.
SBDC, the Small Business Development Center. Oh, yeah, so Small Business Development Center, and they're a partner with the Brighton Chamber, and they provide consulting for businesses. So the marketing, financial, HR, they can help you with writing a business plan. They can do all kinds of stuff for you. Do that. So they're hosted at Front Range Community College, and I'm sure you guys probably put out information all the time about SBDC. But check that out, and yeah, you can book free consulting time with any of the consultants there for whatever particular business needs you might have. Okay. But you can book free consulting time with me to spend more time looking at your business. So I mentioned at the beginning that brand essence, and what people think of you is what your brand is. That's really what we're after. So how do we figure that out? So the very last thing, I'm going to go through all these, and this is at the last page of your handout there. Oh, I had a lot of good stuff too. Oh man. It's the last thing. Here, I gotta get through this. Okay, final step. So, gathering proof and testimonials. How do I know I'm really good and unique and different? We need to get some proof. We need to get some information. And one of the best ways I found to do that is with these 6 questions. So you take these 6 questions, you might have to reframe them a little bit, and you book a meeting with your clients, your customers. And you say, answer these questions, please. And they will give you really good information. They will give you specific numbers to start really helping you identify what is it my people that think about my business, what do they actually think? That's really my brand, that's my identity. And what is it now? So we can figure that out, and then you can start to work on where we want to go from there. So super important exercise. If I can challenge you to do anything, that would be the number one thing to spend some time working on, to really find out what your current customers think of you, and you'll be able to identify a lot of what really makes you unique, and what you should be talking about, and what you should be promoting based on what your current clients are going to tell you. With that, I would like to say it was great to be back in my hometown. This is where, I wasn't born in Brighton, but this is where we lived, over on 4th Street, a couple blocks over here, first house, and then 11th Court. I used to walk uphill both ways to Northeast Elementary in the snow. And it was terrible, but yeah, it's good to be back here and have this opportunity. Christian and Chamber, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.